first of all, thank you. I have two questions. Number one has to do with my field, which is followership and leadership. I'm wondering, in your experience and the things you're dealing with, how are you seeing followership connect to the leadership and ideas that you're trying to express?
Followership and leadership.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to break it down for me a bit so that I make sure that I understand.
So followership is the decision to participate or engage in a process that's being led by somebody else, and to put my time and energy towards somebody else's ideas. Leadership is the decision to guide that process.
Are you talking in the context of narrative?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can, and in your case, I would say that that's very much the case. So I'm curious how you're experiencing it, and what connections are you seeing between it?
So I don't consider myself a leader.
Okay.
But I do consider myself someone who speaks their truth and things that I believe in, whether it's any kind of rights that you can imagine, or the Jewish narrative, and standing up for who I am. And I guess my personality is the kind of personality that I've always just done things that I believe in, and I don't think about it too much.
Okay.
And I think that's something that's helping people follow, not necessarily me, but follow my lead in doing the same thing, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I think that the more that people follow what is in their heart and speak what is in their heart, the better, especially now. And then they become leaders, but they become leaders of their own narrative. And I've been inspired by people, you know. I don't know if that answers your question.
It does. It actually is really great. Could you give me some examples of, or not specific people, but of ideas or narratives that have helped you to be a better follower of your own ideas?
A better follower of?
Your own ideas, the ideas that you say are true, you believe are true. Can you, people who would say that idea, the way they express it, the way they talk about their idea, help me better understand my own idea and how I see it, or how I see that idea?
I honestly think it's down to values and speaking up for values. Anyone who speaks for their own values that are grounded in humanity, to me, that's what the world needs right now, and that's what the world has always needed. So anyone who speaks humanity, which is tolerance and understanding and listening and giving people a chance to express, but also hearing you express, to me, that's a human value that we should all, those are human values that we should all aspire to. And so anyone who does that, whether it's a historical figure, a rebel, someone who against the odds does that in today's day and age. The problem that I find is today, you have a lot of people saying a lot of things, but a lot of people don't know too much about them. I'll give you an example. I made a film with a friend of mine a few years ago. It's called She's That Woman, nothing to do with being Jewish. And it went somewhat viral, and in that film it was basically a love letter to women in the context of my friend, who's a guy, in the context of our respect and admiration for women. And I put a lot of women in there that I really looked up to. And fast forward to where we are today, and I would throw 50% of them out because they haven't spoken up in the context of this conflict and what we're going through. And they haven't spoken up against rape, they haven't spoken up for the hostages, but they have spoken up against other things. The reason why I'm bringing that up is because not everyone that you see in the here and now is, even if they're saying the right thing in the here and now, is not someone who is in it for the long run. And to me, I try and follow people who have integrity and who you can vet and who are the real deal. And I think we need that now more than ever. I'll tell you one other thing about narrative, and maybe this is kind of like an extra. You know, there's no question here, but people keep coming to me and asking me to help figure out what it is that we're meant to say. And I think I have an idea for what it is that we're meant to say in the context of the Jewish narrative.
Okay.
But what we really need is leadership.
Okay.
If you think about Steve Jobs, Steve Jobs didn't create the narrative. Steve Jobs had the vision. And then the vision was answered by people who understood his vision, who understood the audience, who understood the problem, who understood the solution, who understood the truth of what Apple was all about, who understood the competition, who understood the different cultures in different countries. They understood all sorts of different verticals. And what we need is not people like me to lead, okay? And I say that with absolute honesty. But what we need visionary leaders where people like me can play an important role.
So you would say, and you seem to be suggesting that what you are hoping for is to find the people to whom you can engage strategic followership with. People who will be visionaries, and you can say, I'm all in on this. And
Yes.
I will do that
Yes.
100%.
If it aligns with my values,
because
yes.
it aligns with my
Yes.
values and my vision, and that your vision is my vision.
Yes.
And I will do that.
And my values are right now, I have a little, Natty branding agency, it's my small agency, but my vision is to put food on the table for my family, but to serve the Jewish people right now, not Israel. Israel is a part of the Jewish people. To serve the Jewish people, and in order to serve the Jewish people, we need to think about this long term. We're in crisis mode, we're in emergency mode. This is going to be here for a long time, but we need vision. Just today I sat down here at the conference and someone said to me, yeah, come on, Eitan, you got it. And I'm just like, we need vision. She goes, but we're the Jewish people. We don't have vision. I'm like, Herzl was a visionary. Herzl was a visionary.
Yeah.
Okay. So just because we don't think that we have the vision or the visionary leader or leaders, it doesn't mean that they're not there. It means that we have to roll up our sleeves and we have to start opening our eyes, and we have to continue doing the narrative that we're doing and fighting the good fight that we're doing. But in the meantime, we need to look for Jewish leadership across the board. Jewish organizations have failed catastrophically to serve the Jewish people because we're in this predicament, not because of them, but because there is no narrative. The Israeli government, doesn't matter doesn't matter who you support, left, center, right, far left, failure of Jewish leadership, which is fine. It's fine. I'm not saying this to put people down. I'm saying this okay, this has been the problem. Now what is the solution? We have to find the visionaries. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Is that it?
That was awesome.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's all I needed.